Now we're on to fan favorites of shout outs and rants. We're going to ask Hemma to go first because she's got a top of the hour commitment.
A very short rant, the M dash, that's still my rant. Why are they doing that? Site code references too. What's going on? Fix that, please. My rave, I was recently at the Legal Tech Fund conference in Austin, run by Zach Posner, the Legal Tech Fund Summit. I will say, if you get a chance to hang out with the entrepreneurs that are designing the future of legal and compliance tech, together with the practitioners and the investors, it's magical. It's magical to be in that environment. So that's my very brief rave. Find a way to meet with the people that are designing the tech. I know a lot of you speak to your vendors about their future roadmap, but stay in lockstep with them because you want to see around corners and you want to see what the priorities will be next year. We need to see what's happening when it comes to legal and compliance tech. So that'll be my rave for today.
All right, Matt Kelly.
First, I'm just going to give a shout out to the M dash. Thank you. I think it's a perfectly fine piece of punctuation. And Winston Churchill was a great fan of the M dash when writing out his speeches. But actually, I am going to rant about something that I had ranted about before earlier this year. Last, I think it was May or June, I was complaining about the Republicans in Congress trying to ban states from imposing AI regulations. Now, that was a terrible idea, as I said at the time. And eventually, enough states rebelled, and Democrats rebelled, and even some Republicans rebelled that they killed that idea off. And now it is back again. This is still a bad idea, and we should not do this. There are currently two different things floating around, ideas in Washington, D.C. Number one is allegedly Donald Trump is going to come out with an executive order ordering the Justice Department to try and sue states for laws that regulate AI. We have not seen such an executive order. And honestly, I am not that worried about that one because if he's asking the Justice Department to do something, given how incompetent they generally are right now and understaffed, I'm not that worried about it. They'll run around and they'll make some gestures and then nothing will happen. It wouldn't be the first time he signed an order telling them to do something and they didn't do anything. However, Republicans in Congress, like, for real, guys, you're going to do this again? Did you not hear all the complaints previously over the summer about how this is going to curtail states' abilities to enforce consumer privacy or anti-discrimination or fair labor or energy consumption and real estate development once we start talking about data centers? And did you not just see the election results we had in this country 3 weeks ago, where Republicans, in case you didn't see it, you got killed, you got clobbered, you got your butts kicked by nobody who wants any of what you are saying right now? Do not try to revive this bad idea and sneak it in again. Allegedly, they're going to sneak this into a defense spending bill. I suspect they're probably going to try and split the baby, where they say, if you want certain broadband development funds, you're going to have to not enforce your AI laws. I think there'd be a couple of different states who would say, fine, whatever, we're still doing it, keep your money. But we cannot let AI and the AI industry run unchecked all over all of our investor and consumer and legal protections we have. Let's not go through all of this again, because I'm willing to bet it'll end up in the same place as the first time, where Republicans look like fools and they have to do a climb down. It's what happened before. Maybe we do the right thing and not do it again.
Mr. Marks.
Yes, sir.
What do you got for us?
Shout out. I don't know if anybody knows her by her real name, but her name's Mackenzie Scott, and she's an author, philanthropist, and ex-wife of Jeff Bezos. And a shout out to her. She's, I think at last count, donated almost or over $19 billion to over 2,500 charities, 2,500 not-for-profits. And I think in entering the holiday season and the spirit of all of this, I think that's fantastic. Most recently, she donated $70 million to the United Negro College Fund, which I think is awesome. And I think she's trying to do all the right things. I just want to let her know, if she's listening, that cancer support community, we don't charge for our services. So if you're going to stroke a big fat check, I'd really love to get one from you. I admire who you are and what you're doing, and keep up the good work.
Lisa Fine.
All right. I would like to rant about what's happened to my football team this year, which is the Buffalo Bills, but I can't to all the people on this call that will gloat about the fact that their teams are doing better.
Go Birds.
Yeah. Fly Eagles fly. Buffalo Bills Mafia is back to our usual tortured selves. But separate from that, I wanted to sort of make a bit of a rave and also a shout out to the Compliance Week has just started their. Oh, really? I think we've got some insult to injury over there from Jonathan. But I wanted to say they're starting their Mind of the CCO survey, which while I am not somebody who loves to do a lot of surveys or other things like that, and I know they come out, I think this one is significant. And I also think it's a really important time for us to let our views be known. And I think this is a really great tool to do. So I wanted to basically thank Erin, who's been continuing this, who I think has done a lovely job there, and also to basically shout that out and remind people that it's out there.
All right, I'm going to go in a very different direction today. I hope I can tie all this together. And my shout out is there are no new ideas ever anywhere. It started with a article or a tidbit rather from Matt Levine's Money Stuff, and I'm going to read it. I wrote yesterday about a public company chief executive who announced a plan to buy 690,420 shares of his company stock. Those are meme finance numbers. I wrote they have magic power. If you do stuff in units of 69 or 420, then your stock will go up. I got several emails from readers saying that I am old and out of touch, and now the meme numbers are 6 and 7. Is that true? As a father of elementary age children, I personally encountered the 6-7 meme far more than the 69 or 420, thank God. But presumably school children aren't buying the meme stocks. Elon Musk is 54 years old and his memes are 69 and 420. Still, I suppose if you're a forward-looking meme stock CEO, maybe you do have to start doing stuff in units of 6 and 7. Now, I have validated that with perhaps the top journalist in compliance, Matt Kelly, who has Gen Alpha children. But my point is that this is not new. Playing with numbers has been around for a long time. I'm taking a deep dive into the book of Genesis. And I've always wondered about the ages of the patriarchs. So Abraham was 175 when he died, Isaac, 180, Jacob, 147. Now, in the Methodist Church, we were told that just meant they were old. It turns out those are memes, and those are numerical memes. Abraham at 175, that's 5 squared times 7. 2 squared times 3 squared times 5. And Jacob at 147, that's 3 squared times 7. So we've been doing this a long time. How old is Genesis? Purported to be written in 1400 BCE. But if you really want to go back, look at the Epic of Gilgamesh, written in 2100 BCE, and look at the numerical memes there. Let's start with Wild Man Enkidu, who was tamed to become a human after 7 days of raucous sex with a temple prostitute. And the flood that was originally talked about in Gilgamesh was not 40 days, but 7 days. And Gilgamesh himself was 3 parts, 2-part God, 1 part human. Where have we heard that before? So numerical memes have been around a long time. And I shout out to millennials, Gen Zs, Gen Alphas, and now Gen Betas for having the wherewithal to have their own numbers, not 69 and 420, but 6, 7. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I forgot to completely shout out to the quick ladies, Lisa Fine and Hemma. Hemma's had to roll off, but I wanted to thank you guys for coming on. As always, you were all were great additions to our little gang. We're going to obviously be off for Thanksgiving week, but I hope all our listeners have a very happy, safe, and joyous Thanksgiving. We will be back in December, guys.